While many courts have remained able to push anti-vape legislation remotely, many vapers are unable to advocate through online presence alone. Find out more on this edition of Ruthless Insider. Hello and welcome to another edition of Ruthless Insider. Coronavirus has changed the lives of many across the globe over a span of just a few months, but some of the most unspoken changes are affecting those involved in the vape industry. With PMTAs looming just a few weeks away and many shops still reeling from the effects of last year's, quote, EVALI fiasco, the vape industry has suffered greatly in recent times, to put it lightly. A large number of consumers, advocates, and shop owners alike have spent the last year or longer fighting for their right to access vapor products. With the coronavirus lockdowns thrown into the mix, the vast majority of vape supporters have found themselves completely unable to protest the anti-vape narrative, which has been so strongly backed by state legislators in recent months. While COVID-19 did shift the mass media's attention away from the slam campaign against vaping to a certain degree, some anti-vape zealots have continued to push against e-cigs amidst this global pandemic, some even claiming that vaping makes us more likely to contract the virus. While many studies are being released to prove that this is simply not true, one major factor about this pandemic has greatly damaged pro-vape efforts in the wake of this pandemic: the inability to protest and publicly comment on unfair legislation. Before the outbreak of COVID-19, rallies, hearings, and protests were taking place on a weekly basis, and vapers were turning up in droves to speak out for their right to vape. Since the lockdown has closed much of the US, many hearings have gone forward without public comment, and rallies have been forced to a grinding halt. While it is unlikely that anyone would argue that rallies should continue in this outbreak, it doesn't seem to make much sense that hearings should be able to push forward without public comment. Do you believe that these hearings should be delayed until the country is to reopen? Please share your thoughts with us down below, and as always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell button to keep up to date with all of our Ruthless content. This has been Nick with Ruthless Insider, and we will see you in the next video.